Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of Reason on HotButton-Radio. Zoe Williams is your host. Let me tell you right now, man, oh Manischewitz, we got a heater of a topic in this motherfucker this evening. We've got a crack panel of sophisticated Butaphora in the building. What is Butaphora? It's a word I made up. It just means the women up in this motherfucker delicious. And we're going to talk about some heavy things. Listen, everybody who tunes into the Zoe What Morning Show on Mondays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Hot Button Radio know that it is a male-dominated panel. The Voice of Reason is not. We want to hear what the ladies have to say. And we're going to press you. We want to know the truth. You know I'm going to sniff out the lies. And I'm going to call you on it. Is that true, Miss Lips?
That's true.
Okay, cool. So today's topic, it's a doozy. And I'm really interested to know what the ladies think. Listen, we have a phone line here, and I want to hear from our listeners what you think about today's topic, in particular, women. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. I want to know what you think. Veronica Conway is calling in right now, engineer. She said it's already busy. I want you to pay very close attention. Don't worry. We're going to get her.
No, I don't have
The phone lines are boo-boo today. It's fine. Today's topic, this is going to be crazy. Compromising your relationship versus compromising yourself. Where is the line? Should I compromise my purpose for my woman? And vice versa. Should she compromise her? We already know the answer to that. Most women are like, fuck you, nigga. I'm a new woman, nigga. This is Independence Day. We doing our shit. Fuck you. You don't fit. Oh my God, this is gonna be crazy. When compromising for your relationship causes you to compromise yourself with special guests. Oh man, I love the guest lineup we got today. Miss Lips.
Hey, y'all.
You know why they call her Miss Lips? Because she's done evil with those lips. Y'all remember that time she called in and told us the evil? I won't go into it. Next to Miss Lips, let me explain. Oh, if you're not watching this video, you can only hear me right now. If you're going to toss somebody's salad, if you're going to eat ass or groceries, I'm just saying, if that's something you fancy, I mean, you might not want to eat everybody's groceries, but nobody's going to eat escargot every day, but if you decide to eat somebody's ass, it should be an ass comparable to the ass sitting right next to me. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, real estate agent, student of philosophy and psychology, resident intellect, and video vixen of yesteryear, still bad as shit. Melyssa Ford is in the building.
I have never been introduced that way before. That was epic.
Hey,
everybody.
I gotta tell the truth.
I appreciate that.
Tell the truth and shame the devil, goddammit.
Thank you. I am happy to be here.
We got a crazy, crazy topic. See, I like to just mix everything together. Have you ever been so thirsty that you've compromised yourself in order to be in a relationship? This is my homeboy who just walked in.
Hey.
You got to know he my friend to just show up without telling the nigga he coming. I told him that you would be here. He was like, oh, shit, really?
Okay.
Watch me make my way to this motherfucker right now. Type of nigga to just show up late and come in shaking hands. Nigga, you not a politician. Sit your big ass down. No, but let me get back to it. I see Veronica is in. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your work. Thirstiness. How is it related to to compromise? Have you ever been so thirsty that you would compromise yourself to be with somebody? 323-230-4610. That's the number to dial. True or false? You shouldn't set yourself on fire in order to keep your partner or spouse warm. How many people set themselves on fire just to make sure that their partner has all that they need? I know a lot of people who are not serving themselves, they're just serving their partner. Unidirectionally, they're not getting anything back other than I'm with them. Oh, this is ugly. And I want to know how women play themselves. You know y'all play yourselves out the pocket. We want to know the secrets of that. Please share with us. Listen, if you're listening to the Voice of Reason right now, it's getting turned up. I got questions, but I want to throw it over to the ladies right now and understand what they will and won't compromise in relationships. Oh, I love it. I love it. Melyssa, tell me, what will you compromise or won't compromise in relationship? Like what is a deal breaker?
Deal breaker. That is one of my favorite terms ever in life.
Oh Jesus.
I love it. I love it because it's, you gotta set your standards, and I'm not one who likes to deviate from the standards that I've set because they've been set for a reason. Listen, I've dated a lot of don't wants to know exactly what I do want.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So the deal breakers came from somewhere. So if you do compromise themselves, I mean, really honestly, one of the definitions of compromise is to accept lower standards than what is desirable.
Ooh.
That is a definition of the word compromise.
Wow.
Okay, so there's got to be a reason as to why this compromise makes sense to you. Is for the greater good of a situation. It may not be an immediate reveal itself immediatally, but the greater good of the situation, the overall picture, might reveal itself to be like, okay, in the long run, I'll win if I just, kind of sacrifice right now. But when it comes to me, listen, I'm single. I've been single for a very long time, and there's a reason for that.
Are you now?
Yes, I am. I mean, I'm dating. I'm always dating.
I'm always.
I'm always, or sometimes I'm taking time for myself.
I'm sure the line is around the corner. I'm number 37. Will you get through with this nigga real quick?
But when I was younger and didn't have the life experience that I have now, the compromises that I made, they left me really, really, really unfulfilled. And it was mainly just about his happiness. It was emotionally, I was not fulfilled. Sexually, I was unfulfilled. And that's never good when you're a Scorpio.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
I got 1 foot out the door after that.
Did you hear the tone on her right there? Miss Lips.
Yes.
Same question.
I think that I'm a Libra, and I go by the zodiac a lot. So
you better not be nice today. You better tell the truth.
I have to have a man that's willing to give me half of what I need. Not all, but can he meet me halfway? Okay? Okay, the car note is $500. Can you give me $200 on it?
Here we go.
I'm just saying. But if he need me to help him, can I give him $200 on it? You understand me? It should go both ways.
I love it.
And he should be able to reach out to another bitch and say, hey, can we get that other $200? And she should be able to be like, hey, nigga, can I get that other $200? Because it takes a village, first of all. My man cannot be selfish.
So let me get this straight. You and your man together pimp y'all satellites.
It can be possible. Yes.
Wow. That's gangster. Miss Lips in the building.
That's G right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, guess who just joined the building? You already know the conversation is about to be off the charts. Veronica Conway, the creator of the first neuro-linguistic programming designed to undo Willie Lynch.
Ooh.
Called Black Mastery, narrated by Iyanla Van Zant. Miss Veronica Conway, speak on compromise. Why, who compromises the most? Which gender? Men or women? Or what are the differences in the compromise? Speak on that.
Well, okay. So I want to answer that, and then I want to actually go back to what the root of compromise actually is so that we can have some context.
Hallelujah.
So men compromise around fucking, and women compromise around almost everything else. And so what I mean by that is...
You're supposed to be on our side, Veronica. See, right now the shit is imbalanced.
No. Because men compromise around something that I think is really important, which is their need for sexual diversity, right? Their just innate human masculine need for sexual diversity. They tend to compromise around that, and it tends to leak their testosterone. And I would even say that even if they are interacting with a lot of women and they're answering that, but they're lying about it, it's still a form of compromise because it's based in fear.
Ooh, so you saying when a man lies, he compromises his masculinity and he leaks testosterone as a result.
Correct. Energetically.
Wow.
Correct.
Jesus. So
Women
basically he fagotizes himself because he's lying.
Well,
I'll create a word. He fagotizes.
Yeah. Well, he leaks the divine masculine.
Wow.
Right? Because think about it. Think about what compromise actually is. And I say this from some really profound spiritual experiences that I've had, where I was taken back on a spiritual journey to the moment that my soul began to compromise. And so what happens is that after we get here to the planet, we are our whole selves. We're divine. We're here. We're present. We know who we are. And then we are dependent upon other people to meet our needs. And at some point, we make a decision that in order to survive, we have to compromise ourselves. We have to go against our very nature. So that particular moment, that is the place where we split off from ourselves, and we end up living really. And that's the moment, by the way, that religion actually exploits. Religion seeks to go in there because it knows that you compromise. It seeks to go in there and fill that space. So all compromise is based in fear.
Wow.
Every time you engage in it, then the broadcast that you're sending to yourself and to the planet and to the universe is that you're fucking afraid that you don't get to have what you want.
Oh, let me do this. Let me do this really quickly because I love it when women rub their chin in contemplation. Melissa's over here like, I want to know, do you believe that compromise is essential to the success of a relationship?
Well, I mean, first I have to just say that you were absolutely right. I love Veronica, like right off the bat. Like, wow. I'm just absorbing everything that she's saying, and he leaks testosterone. I mean, I can't wait to use that.
You're gonna use it?
I can't wait. You are leaking testosterone all over the place, motherfucker. I can't wait. I can't wait because I know a bunch of leaky motherfuckers.
Some leaky?
Shitstains.com.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is about you guys leaking. See, that's
always leak.
This is what I hate about y'all. I'll design a topic for y'all, and then y'all are flipping on. This nigga leaking right now. What about what y'all leak?
Listen, we don't need to talk about that right now. Okay, listen. But just listening
we can talk about that.
We can talk. We could. Let's just finish up the leaky testosterone thing. But what I was just sitting here rubbing my chin thinking about was listen to what she's saying.
Niggas.
No, I was thinking about how I have compromised myself in the past and the fact that she is right, that it is rooted in fear.
Wow.
You know, it's fear of not being accepted, not being loved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so in depth in terms of the concept of compromise that I hadn't even gone there. And I love when somebody can bring me deeper into something. So Veronica, thank you for that. That was awesome. And it made me feel like I need to be single again just so I can get closer to my divine self.
How about it?
I had a moment. I had a
Look at
moment.
that. Veronica?
That's why I was rubbing my chin.
Unicorn.
All that was just happening.
Hey, as a matter of fact, James Broadway, can you bring in the special unicorn music?
Yes.
Do you have it?
I love Veronica. Yes.
No, listen, we have unicorn moments and we have special music for it. But that's the purpose of today's topic.
It's the best music. It's the best music.
It's the best music in the world. Whenever you say something profound, we have music to support it. But let me just go back. I want people to call in and let me know about the fears that cause you to compromise. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. We want to know, like, what fear do you have? There's the music. Turn it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God. I had a collection of these. My Little Ponies.
The Little Pony, man.
Right, pony.
Gosh.
We love it. You come with that heat, you're going to get the music. But I want to know your fears that causes you to compromise. Do you think daddy issues cause you to compromise in relationships? Do you think trauma, domestic violence, maybe sexual abuse, repressed memories, things that have gone on that you don't remember but unconsciously kind of guide and direct your decisions and cause you to compromise yourself in critical decision-making moments? Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling people relationship is not about Netflix and cuddling. I keep telling people relationship is about one thing and one thing only. You might not like this, but relationship is a school. It is. Right? And the reflection you get back from your partner is your personal curriculum, not theirs. And the more blaming you do, the more, I would say, the more you block your ability to see what is yours to resolve, to reconcile. You know, you did this. You did it. You're responsible for this. This is why. And that prevents you from seeing what it is that is about you and your partner. You'll see it like, wait a minute. I attracted this person for a reason, and they trigger me, right, in special spots that are never triggered unless I'm in a relationship with somebody. You understand what I'm saying? It's crazy. Do we have a caller on the line, or did they hang up? You hung up. I'm blaming you. The number to dial is 323-230-44. Not 44, 4610. That's upstairs. 323-230-4610. Now, on Twitter, we got a lot of people chiming in on this conversation, but I'll get to some of those questions later. I want to ask the panel a question really quickly. Give me an example of compromise actually working, a non-fear-based compromise. Because you got some people, Twitter is telling me right now, you got to compromise. You got to compromise. What's the difference between compromising and sacrifice? I need to know that. Miss Lips? Veronica said,
I think a lot of women compromise, especially it depends on the dick size.
Does dick make you guys compromise?
Are you kidding
Yes.
me? Yeah.
Let's talk about the dick compromise.
Oh, honey, we finna talk about it. Oh,
That's how I win.
well, I don't know about that, but the dick size is very important, and also the logic from the man is very important. It's very rare that you can get the double whammy.
What's the double whammy?
The double whammy is when you get that dick so good. You in the bushes. You paying car notes. You know his baby mama.
Why you in the bushes?
I ain't never got the dick.
You're in the bushes.
I ain't never got the
stalking him.
dick of death.
Stalking
That's what we
him.
call it in the streets, the dick of death. Well, I ain't never got that. But I know some women that have.
Be careful.
And some women has prospered from it, from shutting their goddamn mouth up, too. So it's many ways you can compromise in different levels. Women have to understand, okay, he can't help it, his dick small. Can you deal with other methods?
Women are not compromising little dicks. I can tell you that right now.
I'm not compromising.
No, that's not true. A small dick will keep that pussy tight for a very long time for the next one.
Okay, pussy maintenance. Small dicks keep pussies tight. Miss Lips strikes again.
But the honesty of it, I'm telling you, the dick really matters.
Wow.
Yes.
Listen, we got a caller on the line right now. Caller, what's your name and where you coming from? Speak on it.
Hey, LA, what's going on? This is Gio, Zoe.
What's up, Gio? What's happening, Pam?
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, player?
Man, I'm in here looking at this beautiful woman, imagining all types of foul evil that I would do. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, the Miss Melyssa Ford. Yeah, she's
Christ.
amazing. She's
Yeah.
been amazing.
Oh, thank you,
I would do
Joe.
some
also,
terrible things.
I just want to say
Sorry.
the movie that you were in with Jackie Long, you acted your ass off in that. I'm a fan of yours. Outside of your beauty, you are very, very talented.
Thank you very much, Gio.
Hey, Gio.
I appreciate that.
Hey, stop hitting on my woman, nigga. Don't call up here. Don't call up here hollering at my woman sideways, nigga. That's disrespectful, homie.
You in the studio, man. I'm calling for my car, man. I can't get to her, man. You got at least a 2 hour head start on.
I'm just saying, man. I don't like your tone and your delivery right now.
I just want to say, man, in relationships, it's two things, man. I think a lot of times people talk about regret and different things, men and women. One thing, it's hard for men to be vulnerable in a relationship because number one, they don't know how society's going to react to them being vulnerable. And number two, their own woman. The woman says, a lot of times the woman says they want you to be vulnerable, and when you show your vulnerability, they look at you sideways. They're not always receptive to the vulnerability.
Right. They see the vulnerability as soft, as moist.
I would wholeheartedly agree with Gio.
Yes.
Wholeheartedly. You are absolutely right.
Okay. And number two, the thing that's really the killer in most relationships, and I've talked to people, and me and you, Zoe, have talked about this before, man. Mm-hmm. When a person holds grudges. See, it's different, but there's a difference between being regretful and holding a grudge. When you hold a grudge with your partner and you don't tell them, because I've talked to people years later that they're in relationships and they go on to get married, have kids, they're still in love with the person that they broke up with, but they feel bad because they held the grudge instead of being honest with the person and let them know what's going on. Because number one, ladies, we're not mind readers. Sometimes
but they expect us to be.
Yeah, we expect a lot from
So if you don't tell us, you can't get mad at us for still doing the same thing over and over again. Now, if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, and then you break up with us or you don't want to be with us anymore, that's understandable because you gave us fair warning. But don't throw us out with the bathwater and you don't even tell us what it is.
Wow.
I agree with that.
A woman, I'm telling you,
I agree.
I tell you, most women break up with the dude 6 months to a year before she actually tells him.
I call it mentally checking out. I call it mentally checking out. And Gio, you're so right. You know, I mean, I do a lot of life coaching for my youngins. That's what I call them, my youngins.
Yeah.
And with the girls, with the young ladies, I try to just really make them understand because they really do believe that men and women think the same way. I'm like, biologically, physiologically, our brains aren't even set up the same way. Emotionally, women process things just differently. Our brains as a woman is literally like a 6-lane highway, paved, and it's efficient. You guys are a single-lane dirt road with a horse and a cart on it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, God bless you, and I love you guys. I am so pro man, but geez Louise, do you agree with me, Miss Lips?
I agree.
Hey, to hell with you. To hell with all of you.
So as a woman, maybe that sense of compromise is just understanding that you've got to be extraordinarily communicative and also understand he's not necessarily going to even know how to do so. Yeah. That's a form of compromise.
Yeah.
Women think they're compromising.
And it's okay.
Oh, sorry, Gio. Finish doing your show.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry, Zoe.
No, Daddy.
No, go ahead, Gio.
Just take over.
That's my brother. Go ahead, G.
So basically, sometimes the thing we have to understand, we get caught up in right and wrong is a lot of times it's just lessons. It's like it's okay to be right and it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to let your partner have that battle because the thing is, a lot of times it's just like sometimes you gotta treat your partner not being equal, but sometimes like a child from the standpoint, not in a negative way, but it's like sometimes
that's
you
negative,
let your child win, even though you can overtake them in if you're playing with them or something. It's like, okay, go on and let them have it because it lets them have the confidence. Because women are nurturers, and the woman feels that you can nurture her, then she'll give you the world. But a lot of times we don't know how to nurture. Sometimes to let women have certain things. We're so caught up in our macho, but also the women are so caught up with trying to make an example with their girlfriends, trying to show face with their lonely, boyfriendless girls.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Gio, for the incredibly enlightening filibuster. We appreciate the call. Thank you so much. We've got to move on to the next caller. Caller, where you calling from? What your name is, pimp? Speak on it.
What's up, Zoe?
What's happening, pimp?
What's good with it, man? It's Jeff, man, calling from Atlanta.
Jeff from the A. Speak on it. You see Miss Beautiful Lips and Miss Beautiful.
I love Atlanta.
Hey, Jeff.
Ooh, shit, nigga. Go ahead, speak on it, Jeff.
What we speaking on, man?
You just tuned in.
Pull it out, bro.
I just tuned in.
Hey, we talking about compromise in relationship. When is it too far? When you got to say, fuck that, I ain't doing it.
Man, bruh.
Okay, cool. He's gone. All right. I tried to make it work with him, but cool.
He the 5-second nigga.
Wow. Listen, we're about to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get with Veronica, Melyssa, and Miss Lips and talk more about compromise. I want to pose another question before we get out of here. We talked about compromise being equated to fear. We talked about compromise being equated to sacrifice. We talked about compromise in context to your purpose. Now, typically, when we're talking about purpose and putting it aside, that's some parental shit. You have some kids, fuck. I got to compromise and put my purpose to the side. When? Because I'm going to say Denzel's wife, Pauletta,
Yes.
she compromised some shit. Why? I mean, you got to give her the fucking championship ring when it comes to compromise. Fixed the man's teeth. Backed his whole situation before he was Denzel. You can honestly say she made Denzel. Why is she such a rarity? Oh, I believe she's a rarity. I don't think you got that look on your face, Melyssa, like it's a gang of them out there.
No, I mean, I feel like, in their case, the reason why we know about Pauletta is because we know about Denzel, but I think that there's, people, the equivalent of Denzel in maybe the finance world or the philanthropic world or whatever the case is, and they've got equally as strong of a partner. Michelle Obama is the equivalent of Pauletta, but she has a much larger role because of who her husband became.
Oh, this is good.
But I really do think that, especially as Black women, we really are your backbone. We are.
Really?
Yeah.
Today? You talking about Big Mama now?
I'm speaking on behalf of women. I cannot talk about females, girls, and bitches.
Okay, so you're talking about...
They're not in my category. So I'm talking about women.
Then we have to judge that on a bell curve then.
Okay. Well,
because women don't make up the majority.
I will agree with you there.
Okay, cool. Let's take a quick break. Jesus, we're about to get into a fight. I love this girl already, and we're about to have our first fight on air. We'll be back at 2.2. The voice of reason is in the building. Dash Radio, Hot Button Radio. Get to your phone lines, 323-230-4610. We'll be back at 2.2. DJ Broadway, hit it up. Ladies and gentlemen, the So What captain of both shows, the voice of reason, So What morning shows. If you love politics, all of the bullshit that's going on in the world right now. Racism, Colin Kaepernick. Tune into the So What morning show on Hot Button Radio. Mondays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're not playing any games. Dr. Mark Goulston, an old Jewish psychiatrist. Jeff Brown, Chicago-raised comedian. Myself, Zoe Williams, we kill the game. We don't leave one stone unturned. Crazy shows, So What morning shows. You know what you got to do. Hot Button Radio, Mondays, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 1 p.m. That's what we do. James Broadway, my DJ.
What up?
Hey, man, tell them about those records you were playing during the break, where they can find them, your label, your legacy. We call him Broadzilla. You see how big he is. Speak on it, James.
I think I just played a little bit of DNA. It's on the label records. You can find it on any format. Tidal, iTunes, Amazon. Whatever you like to, whatever your platform is, you can find it under the label records. That was DNA. I think I played a little bit of Quas Poetic. Some real boom bap music, real hip hop. Not all that mumble rap type shit.
Oh, okay. Where can they find you? I fucked up your discography last week. James Broadway is a legendary producer. He called me. I was like, hey, man, Jesus, we've known each other since our teens. And you just going to throw me under the bus like that? Tell them who you are, why it's important for them to know you, the legacy that you have in Los Angeles as one of the greatest unknown producers in the world.
Well, thank you so much. You blew it up way too much, if you ask me. But I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, let me take it back then. No, go ahead.
No. You already gave it to me. I've A&R for many years. I've signed a lot of groups, brought a lot of groups together. Exhibit, Alcoholics, King T, From the help from Ice-T, DJ Pooh put me on back in the day.
Wow. Legends.
Rakim, Big Daddy Kane.
Wow. Hey, tell them how you got me my A&R gig at Loud Records in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them how you did that.
I punked Steve Rifkin.
Hey, give my nigga a job right now. A&R.
Right. So, yeah, and we got a big, if you guys in LA right now, if you really like some boom bap, real hip hop music, the culture, you know what I mean? We'll be rocking tomorrow night, 1753 Olympic Boulevard, the Boom Bap Summit.
I'll be there.
King T, Liquid Radio. Man, the Zoe What Show. It's going down, man.
I'll be there. Hey, man, thank you for coming in and DJing. Let's hear some of them fly beats, and let's get back to the conversation. Veronica Conway is on the line with us right now. And I just love her POV as it pertains to life in general. But let's deal with the negative connotation of compromise. Did we lose her? We have her?
No, I'm here.
Okay, there she is.
Okay.
Let's deal with the negative connotation as it pertains to compromise. Most people think when you're, you can turn his mic off. Thank you. Most people think like when you're compromising, you're giving up something, right? My thought is compromise to a certain degree is good. Meaning, if your woman don't like loud noise and loud music, wear some headphones. Like if you're, into music or if you're into working on music or something like that. Like instead of banging it loud or whatever, you bang it loud in your headphones. That's a compromise. That's okay, I don't want to, she sleeps light. I'm down here in the studio instead of banging the music real loud, those kinds of compromises. But what happens when she says, look, nigga, you're 47 and you're still making beats. You need to give up this shit because it ain't working. Look at James is like, that's wrong.
It is.
No. But let me just say this because I'm close with Quincy Jones. And when you listen to Quincy is like, man, I'm being the best parent I can be now. Because when I was younger, although I was married to people, I wasn't really married to them. I was married to the music. So what happens when your partner gets in the way of your purpose? Regardless of how old you are, what if that's your purpose? Timing is whatever God's timing is. Niggas don't like to believe that shit when they're in relationships. What about these bills, nigga? Well, what about God's clock? I know I'm 47. Fuck you. I'm making these beats, and I guarantee you somebody's going to hear this shit, and I'm going to be that nigga.
Yes.
Look at James. James is in there heated. Melyssa, why you laughing?
I think that was just very funny.
Why you laughing though? I want to know. Would you be with that guy? What if he's the next Dr. Dre and he's one set of ears away?
I have that picture in my mind where it's like the guy cleaving away in the coal mine, just going for the diamond, but he turns back and he's like an inch away from the diamond mine at 47. Sorry, boo. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't share the same faith as you do.
Wow.
Making beats and shit in our basement. No.
This is big.
No, I'm sorry.
This is big.
I'm so sorry.
Miss Lips, you gonna stay with him? You gonna ride with him?
I'm gonna ride with him, man.
There we go.
I'm gonna ride with him.
Miss Lips, that motherfucker.
I was just having this conversation yesterday.
I probably wouldn't have gotten started with him.
Yeah, you would.
To honestly be no.
But you
Listen,
know what?
magic is magic.
A lot of women make that mistake. I'm pretty sure Kanye X is like, damn, I should have shut the fuck up when he was saying that bullshit.
When he first got his mouth wired, I should have just.
Oh,
But I mean,
yeah, he was kind of corny.
He was really young at the time, though. He was like 20, I don't know, 24,
I would have watched
25.
Kanye West draws, He would have appreciated me. I would have been like homie for life on his call ID. Like, yeah, my house would be paid for. Like, bitches be like, what the fuck she doing? What the fuck she doing? I just believe in giving a person a chance. I am like the black sheep of my family. My family is so proud of me in Chicago. They like, damn, bitch, how the fuck you do that? good pussy, but you know.
Wow. Okay.
How,
you know,
how long do you let that ride out for? I mean, he says 47. He's been making beats for 20 years and ain't gone nowhere with it. That's when do you throw in the towel?
Are you saying that's proof he's not good?
No, it's just proof that it's just not in this lifetime, boo.
Ooh, I don't
know.
Not in this lifetime.
I don't know. You know, I really believe the women make the men successful.
Turn the DJ's mic on. He has something to say.
Even
then I'm going
bombs
to
have dates. Like if you ever, cause as long as I've been in California,
She said
I
even bombs
ain't no single bombs. These bums huddle up. They get the heat out them tents. You understand me? If they pee together. I mean, we gotta come together, man. I mean, if you're not gonna have their back as far as fucking them and sucking them, you gotta have their back mentally. Send them a smiley face.
James Broadway, you have something to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna
I'm
agree
coming
with
to you,
him.
Veronica.
I was gonna agree with him on one thing. Now, if a bitch is taking care of the nigga, and he down there, and he still don't get it, and that I can see.
Well, mind you, James he's hood, so.
But I'm saying
Hood
they're
is
right.
good.
They're right. If the lady is taking care of him and he down there and ain't bringing nothing to the table but some loud ass music and beats all this down, he got to go.
That's the scenario that was playing in my head. Yes, that was the scenario. Thank you.
Veronica Conway, step in here.
Well, I think we misrepresent what compromise really is, right? So
There we
you talked
go.
about earlier that the small compromise of if she's doing something and she doesn't like loud music, then I'm going to put my headphones on or whatever, right? The thing is that's actually not. We have to begin, I think, to operate in a frame of collaboration, meaning, any people in a relationship or a set of relationships have needs. And so what we fail to do is we fail to design solutions that meet both parties' needs fully, right? So we don't vision towards collaboration and include everything that's needed. So what I would say about, and let me say this and still be loved, what I would say about women that make a terrible mistake is because they are under this rubric of monogamy, then what happens is because they get conditioned and programmed that their whole goal in life is to get a man to love them.
Wow.
Then what they do is they say, okay, now that you're here, now that I've met you at the grocery store and I like you, so now we dictate how each other's lives goes for the rest of our lives. Now I'm looking to you to fulfill all my needs because you're the only one that's here to fulfill all my needs. If she were going to be butt naked honest with herself and with life, then she would say, you know what? Because humans are needs meeting machines. We have to get needs met, but we limit them to the construct called monogamy. So it's cool, baby. You can do your thing. If we've really got energy and love for each other, you can get your track thing going. But the other thing is, I'm going to get my other needs met in other ways, independent of you, because I don't expect you to meet all my needs. And see, if women were to expand their awareness and use the universe what it's for, we're meant to get our needs met from the universe, not from a guy.
Yes.
Veronica, okay, I'm going to need the instrumental for the fucking My Little Pony music. Because let me just say, we be hitting like, we be hitting like some hella lofty ideas. And we just got to.
That's how it works.
I'm not saying it doesn't work that way, Veronica. I'm just saying we have to keep in mind that mediocrity is the norm. And I'm not saying it isn't achievable. I'm not saying it isn't possible. What I'm saying is the way people are conditioned, they're conditioned through fear. They're conditioned to accept things that are beneath their expectations.
I feel you.
Right? So my question is how. My question is now.
Let me address that.
Can I state a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Veronica, you know I love you. Okay, so now, how do we recondition them? How do we get in and go, okay, you do know all of the expectations that you're seeking from your partner, you can provide to yourself. How do we teach that? Because once a person fixes and heals themselves, do they then need to rely on their partner to be a what you say, a needs meeting machine?
Partners can stay in their lanes. In other words, so watch this.
I like
What you're saying is exactly proves my point. When you say people are mediocre, by definition, what you're saying is that they're compromised. Ooh. Because what happens when you throw off the fucking the weight and the luggage of selling out on the law of your being for the sake of some approval, when you stop doing that, it is like walking through fire. It burns off all that mediocre, low energy, low frequency beingness that people exist in. The very act of being no compromise is a revolutionary act. So you by definition raise yourself up to be non-mediocre. But I'm talking about full-blown no compromise zone. I'm talking about telling the fucking truth.
How many people in relationship, Veronica, are living a lie right now, which means they're compromised? How is compromise related to falsehood? What'd you say?
98% of the planet.
98% of the planet. Back to my concept of mediocrity, falsity. Most people are wearing a mask, and they want you to date the mask, disguised as their ideals or standards. I always tell women, if you have a standard for relationships that you haven't vetted out, that you haven't challenged, you're dating an idea and not a real person, and that's going to allow a false person to come in because you've never vetted out those ideas. You have to vet them out. How do you vet them out? What's their origin? Where were they born of? Where were they born from? What kind of environment were you raised in? What did you model? Most people don't look at that.
Yes.
Speak on it, Melyssa. You taking it in? Look at Melyssa. She's just.
I am. I am sitting here. I'm an apt pupil. It's fascinating. I am so happy that I'm even on this panel, on this show. And Veronica, you're my spirit animal.
What kind of animal is she?
She's a fucking unicorn.
Yes.
Fucking unicorn totem.
She's a freaking unicorn. And, what you said is, maybe it's unpopular, but it is true. A lot of times women are so in love with the idea of being in love and being accepted, and the whole concept of, marriage is just kind of, a form of validity of her own, of her existence.
Right.
And it's pathetic. Not to say that a woman is pathetic, but I've seen examples. I have a girlfriend who married somebody. She was running towards the altar with a man that every single person in her life said, girl, stop. Compromised the hell out of herself. Inside of 6 months, they're on the verge of annulment, and he's asking for alimony. Like,
break me off.
Girl, we told you he was not the right one, but you just were so thirsty for that rock on that fourth finger left hand. And why? Because you didn't want to be a part of the quote-unquote single girls club? It's not that bad. Actually, I quite like this club, okay? I am the president of...
You like it for now?
No, listen. If I do get married, it's going to be to the person that understands that, like she said, I am not looking towards you to fulfill every single one of my desires, and I'm not talking sexually. I'm talking about the fact I'm very independent. I've spent a lot of time on this planet alone, so I'm not going to be able to get everything that I need from my mate, nor do I expect him to be just the deliverer of everything, of my total and complete idea of happiness and contentment on this planet.
But that goes back to what we were saying earlier about limiting beliefs. The limiting belief is a compromise. But if you're unaware of the beliefs.
Thank you. I have been afforded the luxury, by way of not having children and by not getting married, to be completely selfish. To be able to examine.
You like selfishness.
I do like.
Speak on it.
Because there's nothing wrong with being selfish if you really analyze what that means. It's just you're just getting in touch and in tune with who you are, what makes you tick, and if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you can and can't stand, what your deal breakers are, whatever the case is. So you're constantly going to be in a compromised state. You're constantly, and you're not even going to really understand why. There's just going to be this underlying feeling of misery.
Wow.
Yeah. Can I
Yes.
Can I piggyback on that?
Yes.
After Miss Lips. I want to get Miss Lips in, and then you.
Alrighty. All right.
Miss
A
Lips.
lot of the compromise with women for the alpha male is homelessness.
Speak on it.
I'm just saying.
Speak on it, Miss Lips. I knew some shit was coming.
I'm just saying. I mean, the one thing that I appreciate is that God keep putting alpha men in my life because I need them, because my father didn't carry out that position correctly. You know, I know my father. See, I'm one of the women that I know my father, and he has kind of raised me, you know, in a lot of
Kind of raised me.
you know, he ain't got no Twitter or Facebook, but you know.
Oh my God.
But
Miss Lips.
I know of him. I have met him. I have hugged him. I have seen him cook. I have seen his business mind, and that's where I get a lot of my traits from. You understand me? And which is a good negative thing. But what we need to do is, as women, we need to learn from these men. I mean, if you know your man father is not in his life, don't throw little things in. Don't expect him to do certain things because he don't know how to do them. Because he wasn't taught.
Whoa, that's big. I'm gonna go to Veronica, but that
Yeah, we got to revisit that.
big. God damn.
Hey.
Can you imagine having a kid with a woman who expects you to be an excellent father when you yourself have a gap where your father left in your life? So being a father is an entirely different kind of reference point for you. And if you with a woman who doesn't understand that you flying blind on how to be a dad, because your dad, ooh, that's a whole nother get down. How is
vice
she
versa.
compromising herself by believing he should be the consummate father when he didn't have one? Veronica, go deeper.
Well, I mean, that's where decision making and discernment, I think, comes into play. I think that, I didn't come here as a brilliant mom. I felt my way through it. And I think that if people, and I listen to my intuition, and so anybody can be anything they want to be if they listen deeply enough to the truth. All that, and I don't believe in people being inept. I think they just ignore intuition. They ignore the signals. So and I think sometimes playing inept can be a cop-out for not having to grow and struggle to figure it out. Because at some point, especially when you come to parenting, guess what? It's not about doing what you feel like doing or what you know to do. It's about doing what's required. That's it. And so as a parent, you have to grow into those shoes, or don't do it. The other thing I really want to say, because I've done compromise before, and it kills me it comes like clockwork. So if I go into a compromised relationship with a man, and I have done that before, out of my own fear, out of my own neediness, out of my fear about I got to raise my kids by myself, out of my fear around money, inevitably what happens is, and Nachama taught me this so deeply. He said, you with the more powerful your signal is, the more powerful your light, the less you can afford to put a negative block in the space. It's sort of like dropping a thing of ink into a really clear pool, right? It clouds the whole thing. So when you have a strong signal in the world, especially as a woman, then you make manifest everything that's in your consciousness. And the minute you make decisions that are life-altering because of fear, guess what? You fuck up the mechanism, right? So you begin to broadcast that fear, and then you begin to have results that are in alignment with that fear. And here you are, all shut down, looking over at him like it's his fault. But guess what? It's not. It's because you chose fear instead of possibility.
Wow. I'm going to say this. I think women compromise themselves when they're in search of security.
Agreed.
They will become literal whores for security.
Totally.
How many women you know are a whore for the pursuit of security. Call me right now, 323-230-4610.
Oh.
A straight hoe for security. Security hoes. Security, come get this hoe.
Save me,
Security hoes.
Oh,
And see, this is why we do this show. I want women to be honest about how they've whored themselves out in pursuit of security. Listen, this is how, tell me I'm wrong. Somebody disagree with me right now. This is how a lot of well-to-do motherfuckers get the baddie.
Duh.
Where you already see like, what the fuck? Yeah, he's security. So my question is, do women even perceive themselves as whores when they whore out their integrity, when they whore out their standards, oh, this is good. Go ahead, Melyssa. You shaking your head. Come speak on it, Pam.
You know what? Oftentimes when I'm shaking my head, it's just maybe oxymoronic, but it's an agreement.
Yes.
You know, God, there are times where, it's sparse. You know, there's some crackers and some tuna in the cupboards and shit like that. But
Okay.
Some potted meat.
and it's just like I do not know one single woman that has not thought to herself, there is this dude over there whose pockets are full, and he's just like, all I want is you, and you do not want that motherfucker. If your bank account had a figure and a bunch of zeros behind it, he would be the last mofo that you would deal with. But however, your circumstances are not dictating that you could be that choosy right now. I dare any woman to tell me that she has not at least felt that way, contemplated it, thought about putting her integrity, because it is about integrity. It is about integrity. And a lot of people just, lack it these days, or they don't even think about it. It's not even a concept that just, that they feel any kind of, allegiance to. Other women like myself, there have been times where I've been in that same situation, not being able to look at myself in the mirror, though. That means the world to me. That means something to me. That is my deal breaker for myself, is being able to look at myself in the mirror. But in the same right, I would never, ever, ever in life judge a woman for feeling like she needed to do that. Right. I'm not walking in her shoes. I can't make that decision for her, but it is a real thing.
I want some examples from the ladies today. I want some examples. I'm going to start with Miss Lips. Give me an example of how you hoard your integrity out.
It really just comes from wounding. It all comes from the father. I keep telling everybody.
Oh, shit. She going to blame men.
No. No, I'm not going to blame men.
I'm just...
No, that is not, no. I actually, last Friday was my father's birthday.
Oh, really? Happy belated birthday, Dad.
It is so sad that I can't talk to him. And it's not my fault, But if he was to reach out and call me, I don't know how I would handle it, But it all comes from that relationship. That relationship of a father and daughter is very important because
So you're saying dads teach, or in the absence of fathers, they teach daughters how to be thirsty and how to compromise their integrity.
I'm going to tell you, my grandfather taught me a lot. He said, look, you cook, you suck his dick, and you shut the fuck up.
Here we go. Let's go.
My granddaddy gave my grandmother the check. She stayed at home. So I have that input in me. I can stay home and do my comedy and bring some money in the house. But he has to be willing to sign that contract of laziness of me. and that's selfish of me, but I believe that I can bring in a whole bundle of money because I manifest things and I put in work. But the type of man that I want or I need, he has to meet me halfway. He has to. And I have to meet him halfway. But the whole thing about that, because I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
I saw that. I peeped that. I've been doing this long enough. I've been doing this long enough.
I'm an honest hoe. Shit, I'm from Chicago. Shit.
I'm an honest hoe.
Slap me,
And
goddammit.
all my hoes is honest hoes.
Not one. What the fuck you at? But no, like seriously. But we gotta rebuild these men relationships past and future. Because the past, I'm telling you, it comes back around. You can be like, oh no, that nigga did that. No, I can't trust that nigga. But that nigga might have that trigger. He might trigger you, but that's not the story of that particular relationship. Little triggers. We have little triggers in us that set little bombs, and it's not healthy.
I can smoke a bag of that.
Yeah, no, yeah. We definitely do have triggers. Yeah.
Yeah. Veronica,
Yes.
I want to know, give me your top two examples of how women play themselves or compromise themselves. Some common shit that a lot of women may or may not know that they're actually doing. How do they compromise themselves? You like that, huh?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I'm coming.
I can't wait.
I think it's it's so deep and so pervasive. It's everywhere. So what I mean by that is, anytime you tell someone something that they want to hear, anytime you're gunning for approval, anytime. Let me give an example. Let me give some contrast out of my own experience. I dated a guy who is at this stage of his life. He's a billionaire. He comes from a very wealthy, aristocratic family. This is when I was much younger, and I told him a bunch of lies because I had never been exposed to that much money. I just never had been exposed to it, so I just didn't understand how it works. I felt it felt unfair that he had it and I didn't. And so when we dated, I lied to him. And then at one point, we had a coming to Jesus conversation, and I told him the entire truth, all the fucked up, raggedy shit I did. It was excruciating. It was painful. But here's what happened. He became my friend and my ally. Later on in life, if I ever got into a bind, he'd slip me, $10,000, $50,000 if I needed it, out of the relationship of truth. And so what I'm saying to you is, all those little niggly lies that we tell people so that we can have our look good. The fire that and when you begin to confront this stuff, it literally is like walking through fire. It burns off all of the bullshit, and it sets you free. But it looks so dangerous when you're embarking upon it. So it's like tell the truth about everything. Everything.
I think it's very difficult for women to tell the truth, though.
You'd be amazed at what accrues to you out of that. The other thing that I think women compromise around all the time is their sexuality. The truth is that women are just as sexual as men are.
Women always lie about that.
Right, because in order to control the woman's sexuality, you have to put her in a box.
We're doing that, or is she doing it to herself, Veronica?
No, I'm saying that's no. That came out of marriage. That came out of the egoic mind wanting to know what happened to its property.
So it's the man's fault again.
No. I'm saying the construct. They wanted to know what was going to happen to its property when it was in the grave. So it set it up so that women had to be monogamous so that you could pass down property through the bloodline. That's where monogamy comes from. It's about property. And I'm saying that construct puts women in a bind, and it leaves them outside of their wild nature. Most women are fucking wild. And when they lie about it, then they rob themselves of the opportunity.
You got Melyssa in here fixing her hair right now, like, yeah.
Shaking my mane.
Yes.
Go ahead. I like this. Go.
No, we're wild. And so here's the thing. You have to consider that sexuality is the biggest, most potent channel that God gave us, the universe gave us to get everything born on the planet. It's a huge channel. Everything on the planet gets born through a sexual act. So if you have this, what the universe is really saying is this channel called sexuality is the vehicle for manifestation and creation, not just babies. And so, but if we cut that channel down through compromise, through sexual compromise, it becomes, first it's an ocean, then it's a river, then it's a creek. Guess what? You lose your capacity to create when you shut that down, especially for a woman.
So I think you've just confirmed something for me. And we had these conversations a lot. Oh, I'm sorry, Siri. Forgive me. We have these conversations a lot. women compromise around sex,
Yes.
right? And if women can't be themselves sexually, then they can't really function properly in the relationship.
Absolutely.
True.
So
Absolutely.
now external shit becomes paramount in the relationship. Am I paraphrasing that correctly, Veronica?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Right, because in the absence of knowing her divine self, right? In other words, if she has to compromise, if she's got to go into compromise of her divine wild nature to go into relating, then she's going to start looking around for a bunch of shit to fill that void, and she's going to look at you to do it. And if you're not equipped to do it, which
Hold
you
on,
may not
hold on,
be.
Veronica. I don't like your tone right now. If you're not equipped to do it,
If that dick ain't right,
But that's okay. Because guess what? Somebody else might be. The question is are you man enough to be able to be inside of a scenario where she gets all of her needs met, and some of them may not get met for you?
they done turned this shit on us again. Melissa, what do you have to say about this?
What? I agree with what Veronica's saying in terms of women compromising themselves sexually, because there's a lot of shame associated with sexual activity, specifically like oral sex.
Give me an example. Go
Oral
deeper.
sex, fellatio. Women. I remember when I was in high school, and I was a virgin, and my best friend, she gave a blowjob to a guy, and when I say her reputation was shitted on, it was awful. Like, it was the things that were said about her were so bad it traumatized me for years. For years, I'm talking about the fact that I was uncomfortable even addressing the fact that I performed fellatio on boyfriends. I wouldn't even discuss it. I didn't want to talk about it. It was to me, in my mind, it was such a shameful act because of how it was introduced.
It was a white girl thing. White girls suck dick. Black girls don't suck dick.
Yes,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like, black girls don't suck dick.
Exactly.
But they did secretly. You fucking liars.
Exactly. So there's a lot of shame. There's a lot of shames, associated with sex as it relates to women. So it's almost like we have to act like we don't really have it, or we don't enjoy it, or whatever the case was. And I really can't stand that, because I love it. I am that wild woman that Veronica's talking about. But you asked me about
Scorpio moon too.
Scorpio all over the place.
Everybody in here is ready. I'm ready.
But you asked me about compromise
Yeah.
and how I've compromised myself. And the way that I compromised myself in the past was my self-worth. The concept of my self-worth, and the concept of my entire self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth. It was all compromised in the name of love. And that's not love.
Wait. Say more about
you know what? That might be love, but it is definitely not agape love. That is toxic. I was in a very, very toxic situation that I literally felt imprisoned by, because I felt I was so in love with him and I could not get away from him. I felt imprisoned by my emotions and my feelings for him. It was frightening and it was scary, and I contemplated suicide. It was ugly. And if you could believe this was at the height of my career, when I was all over TV and I was on the sides of buses and taxis. I was everywhere, and I was contemplating suicide because I was so miserable in this relationship. I was being abused mentally, physically, and emotionally by the love of my life. And it took years to repair that damage. Years. It's something I've actually never really admitted. This is like the first time I've actually talked about it.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
I have a nice little comfortable environment, huh?
Yeah. I feel like everybody needs to hear a story like that, especially women, because we start to feel like our feelings are unique. The greatest moment of my life was when I realized I wasn't special in that capacity. Not, of course, my mom says I'm special, not that kind of special, but that my problems were not unique, and that other people could identify with how I felt.
And like other people have healed from that particular situation.
Exactly. And that's why I'm such an advocate for helping life coaching my youngins through the difficulties, especially the emotional difficulties that life presents to us, because God, it was torture. And I wished I'd had somebody like a Veronica or a me or Miss Lips, because you are gangster as a motherfucker.
You're not even knowing this. This is tamed, Miss Lips.
she's
I had to coach her. When you walked in, I was coaching her like,
how the hell I'm gonna do this shit
today?
today?
But I think it's imperative to have people around you to help educate you on just like the life, just the life process. There's no handbook. It's all just about passing knowledge down, and it's, in terms of compromise, I will never, ever, 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 ever go back there again in terms of compromising my sense of self, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. Never, ever for anybody, nobody deserves that.
I can smoke a bag
But
of
you know
that.
what, Melissa? God put that man in your life so you can see.
I agree with you.
He did
that.
I
needed to learn that very, very hard lesson.
He had to, because we have to receive the bad.
Where's the
That's
gospel
why-
music? Cue
That's
the gospel.
why it's a devil and it's a God, man. I'm
Cue
telling
the gospel.
You, I'm telling you.
Hold it up, Okosha.
We have to receive what we get in life. Negative or positive. I'm serious.
No,
Like,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right.
So-
Life it undulates. I mean, if we were to just experience all highs, we'd get burnt out.
Right.
We need the undulation of life, the roller coaster, the highs, the lows. In order to appreciate the highs, we've got to experience those lows. So I never shun or regret the horrible experiences that I've gone through, because in order for me to become who I am now, it wouldn't have happened. If my life was just blessed. And it was just like, it was awesome all the time.
Wow.
I don't think I could handle that. I'm a Scorpio. We're super fucking dark.
Oh.
I
You
sometimes
ain't got to tell me. Big Mama was Scorpio.
Yeah.
I threw rocks at her. So,
Oh,
yeah. I love you, Big Mama. She gone. But I had to throw rocks at Big Mama. She was very dark. So I have this thing with Scorpio, though, because of Big Mama. I know y'all. But let me go into
Love, hate.
what you're... Oh, I love Big Mama to death. Damn. You know what her... Like, this is a tough one for me, because I had this feeling in 98 when she was about to die. Like, I hadn't seen her in a couple years. I wrote about it in my first book, The Rebirth of Seeds. And it was just a presage. It was a voiceless... Just something said, call Big Mama. And I called her, and she was like, "Hey, boy, I ain't seen her in a while. Hey, how you doing, Big Mama? Are you okay?" She was like, I'm fine. I said, good. I just had a feeling, needed to call you and make sure you're good. She was like, all right, cool. I said, all right, I'm going to go now, because I didn't have a lot to say to Big Mama. I was grown then. We had a real tough, that little boy going to go to jail. That's what she was telling her grandbaby. That nigga there. I was only 8. That nigga there,
damn.
he gone. You better do something about this nigga
Oh,
here.
she sounds like a gem. She sounds
Right?
like a gem.
So it's Zoe's story time. Here we go. So when I had that feeling, before I hung up the phone, I think she wanted to talk to me. So she said, well, look, baby, there's one thing I need. And I said, well, what is that? She was like, I need you to come down here and put this blanket on me. I was like, that shit ain't right. Big Mama is 4'10". She drives a fucking 79 Coupe de Ville Cadillac. This is a pimp, my nigga. Got a gun and Big Mama was wild. I said, that don't sound right. So I go down to check on Big Mama. I'm knocking on the door. Scorpio, fully Scorpio. God damn, November 15th. Just shit, Scorpio. This nigga here, just intense. I go knock on the door. I'm knocking on the door for an hour. She's on the other side of the door talking shit. On the other side talking shit. Boy, open that goddamn door and get in here. I said, the door's locked, Big Mama. Well, then you locked it, nigga. What? I just got here. So it's an hour of this. Back and forth, back and forth. Finally, she opens the door. Now, when she opens the door, First off, I had never broken down before as it pertained to Big Mama. Because she was just an asshole. She was ornery. She'd wear a wig at the family get-together, and it was all a production. I remember as a kid, like, shit ain't about you. It's us. All of us together, my nigga. Why you tripping? I'm 8. Like, fuck, Big Mama, you tripping. But Big Mama would come in. She would make an entrance and, Rosetta, come with me. You my first grandbaby. Walk me in. Like, she got the whole situation down. Then she got to sing and do, re, mi, di, sa, di, do. You know, she gets ready for all of this shit. So when she opened that door, she was covered in feces. She was about 70 pounds. I saw her, I just was like, God damn. So I just walked in and I just picked her up. And she's talking shit. Motherfucker, put me on the bed and, clean up this house. I said, okay, Big Mama, shit. Crazy thing is, I couldn't handle it. So I cleaned up to the best of my ability. But then I called another Scorpio, a friend of mine, older woman. And she came down there. You know who I'm talking about, Keshar. James Broadway knows my peoples. She came down there and she stayed with my great-grandmother for 2 weeks and bathed her, fed her, cooked for her, cleaned her up, did her hair, all that shit. And in that 2 weeks, she revealed all of the horrors that was little Zoe. Oh my God. She didn't tell this shit to me. The only thing she said to me when I walked in after, like a couple of days, I came back, everything was cleaned up. The first thing she said to me was, who would have thought that the devil would be Big Mama's angel? Thank you, boy. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, Big Mama. But she told so many stories to this woman. She was like, she couldn't tell me, but she told the woman. She was like, I'm so indebted to this little boy. I thought he was gonna die. I thought this nigga threw rocks at me. I thought he was gone, But she was like, this nigga beat up a deaf boy on my porch. Oh yeah, I got banished from the crib. And what I was doing was a satellite around her house. Oh, I can't come over? I'm gonna be in the neighborhood fucking with your neighbors. So I'm fucking with the neighbors. The neighbors is coming in. Could you get your grandson? This nigga's on our roof. This nigga's out here tripping. Right? So one day there's a fucking deaf boy on her porch, and I'm standing across the street looking at this nigga. Who the fuck is this nigga at my Big Mama's house? So I'm yelling at the nigga. She looking in the window going, look at this motherfucker here. He is over here. He ain't supposed to be over here. I'm over there like, hey, little boy. He can't hear me because he's deaf, but I don't know he's deaf. So the more I talk to this nigga and the more he doesn't respond, the angrier I get. The fuck is going on? You ignoring me, nigga? Is that what's happening? So she's waiting for me to do something. And I did something, motherfucker. So I'm yelling at this nigga. I'm yelling. He doesn't do anything. So I come across the street. Now I'm at the gate. Hey, what you doing at my Big Mama's house? This nigga, his back is to me. He's not paying attention. I hop the motherfucking gate. And then I walk up and I'm yelling like, do you hear me talking to you? He can't even feel me. So I just reach and kick the shit out of him in the stomach.
Oh.
And then she came out. What the fuck is you doing over here? I told you not to come over here. This is a story that was relayed to me. When she opened that door, I ran and hopped over the gate. What the fuck is you doing over here? I told you not to come. I said, you just go in that house and get me that $1 you owe me. That's what you do. She was like, hold on, I got something for your ass. But that was the kind of relationship I had with the Scorpio Big Mama. And I'm sorry I went on a tangent, but that was a beautiful time. We'll get back to the compromise story after this break. James Broadway! Man, I need you to lit it up in this motherfucker. Get us a mega mix going, man. Dash Radio, Hot Button Radio. The Zoe Show is crazy. Voice of Reason. Here with Melyssa Ford, Veronica Conway, Miss Lips. It's going down. If you want to call us, please get at me at 323-230-4610. We'll be back at 2.2. Holla! Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned. It hasn't been very reasonable today, but it's been good. It's been entertaining. And as we wind the show down, I'm really interested to pull some more layers back. I have a question. I want to get deeper in more ways than one. Women, if money was worthless, what value would your man bring to your life? Like what? Okay, you take money out of the equation. Like what other currencies would a man have to have that would, you go, that's a great catch, right? This is a good man. This is this is something. Money just fucking colors it so badly that it's hard for you to ascertain the other real qualities that are potentially worth more than the money. So let's take money out of the equation, starting with Miss Lips. Tell me, what does he have to have?
I would take a eat pussy coupon any day. If you can wake me up eating my pussy, I will put the ring on your finger. Fuck, you put the ring on my finger. Nigga, we go together for life. Like, for real, okay? And I had experienced that a couple of days ago. But, and that's why, I am blessed. I have to say that God has put some very good men in my life, and they haven't been like perfect, but God has put some incredible men in my life, and I am so grateful. The best thing other than money, I would say conversation. Conversation is key. I mean, I can sing.
Eating pussy, conversation.
Yeah,
here we go.
I can sing to my man, and he loves to hear me sing. That's something different.
Okay, do us a favor. Just give us a couple of notes.
Okay. If I should stay, I will only be in your way.
Okay, Shitney Houston, ladies and gentlemen. All
Yes.
right.
Woo! And that was brought by Camelbacks and Newports and weed
Wow.
smokes and Hennessy. Honey.
Whoa, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move quickly away from that awkward moment.
That was great.
All right, let's get back to the question.
Back on me? Okay, yes.
No,
okay.
you said
I'm
what you
done?
need. Yes,
Okay,
you're
thank
done.
you. All right.
Thank you. You've done enough.
Thank you.
Veronica, take money out of the equation.
Yeah.
What are the essential things that you would be happy to compromise with this motherfucker if we take money out of the equation?
Yeah, and I don't put money in the equation actually.
Here comes
So
play the My Little Pony shit. Here we go. This fucking unicorn.
She said she
Go ahead, Veronica.
I don't know. So masculinity, emotional intelligence. I'm going to say sexual divinity. Like he has to
Sexual
understand
divinity.
Oh.
I have the
God.
penis of Krishna.
Hey.
I have the Christ slong.
God.
Yes.
I'm going to say
I have a divine meat hammer. I'm sorry.
resourcefulness and intellectual curiosity.
Wow. Wow. Wait. Let's go back. Because that was all hot fire while I was talking shit. Say more. Just restate it. Just restate it. Because you said intellectual masculinity. Go deeper into masculinity.
Real masculinity.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
Sexual divinity.
Yes.
Resourcefulness. And intellectual curiosity. See, the thing that we get confused about money in this whole construct is that the person can be one way or the other about what they make, but are they resourceful? That's critical.
Yes.
And so you can't be both broke and not resourceful. You have to be resourceful, right?
Ooh.
And so resourcefulness is key.
Yes.
Too.
Wow. I like that. That was dope. Now let's come to Melyssa. Melyssa minus money.
Well, I mean, it's hard to come behind
That's
these
fine.
two.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Like, seriously.
You can come all day.
Ooh, because I heard her say what she said on that other radio station about leaving that seat wet. But we won't speak on that.
Hey, team seat wet. Hey.
Squishy. Speak on it, pimpstress.
Okay, well, waking up, getting your pussy eaten, bonus. Love that.
Bonus.
Yeah, I absolutely.
Yes.
Conversation, yes. I wholeheartedly agree. Emotional intelligence, Veronica is absolutely right about that.
Right.
Resourcefulness, yes, I wholeheartedly agree with that. And intellectual curiosity, I say this a lot. I say that I'm looking, when it comes to meeting a man, I'm more interested in who's like my cerebral soulmate.
Go
Who?
deeper.
Yeah, I am a loquacious motherfucker. Okay,
Loquacious.
I like to talk, and if you are not on my level, and that's not
Are
to
you hitting on me? Thank you, baby. I love you.
That'll be a pretty baby, though.
That baby be cute. You be gorgeous, huh?
Beautiful baby.
Solstice Williams.
Yes.
My son works. Do not alert him to my presence.
That baby float out the pussy.
You feel me?
Oh,
We'd have the Christ baby.
you are
Yes.
so funny.
That nigga be back. He'll save the world. Should be cool.
Well, let me just say that a sense of humor is paramount also on that list. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to make me laugh.
Yes.
But
The
yeah,
Christ baby. Let's name him Jesus.
I really like Solstice.
Just
though.
right off the top.
I like
Solstice.
Solstice.
Well,
is the
Jesus,
shit.
Solstice is the same
You could be
thing.
his middle name.
Let's work it out.
Yeah,
Let's just
Solstice,
work it out,
Jesus.
okay?
I don't know, whatever. But I am constantly, I'm still curious about life. There's so many aspects of life. As I've gotten older, I've realized I don't know shit. I don't know shit about shit. Okay, arrogance is really ingrained in our youth.
Wow.
That's when we think we know it all. Older you get, you're like, I don't know nothing. I love somebody who is intellectually curious, somebody who still has that childlike wonderment in their eyes, that doesn't say the phrase "I don't know" without saying "but I'm about to find out." I'm a very learned person, and I don't think that I would be able to be with somebody who doesn't think the same way as I do in terms of, I may not know the answer now, but I'll know it in about 5 minutes because I'm going to research the hell out of that, And I just have an enormous amount of respect for somebody who can admit that kind of thing, who has that sense of like child wonderment and curiosity and just still wanting to understand things about the world, just about people, just curious about life and nature in general. So those are my those are the characteristics I really look for in somebody.
You know what's interesting? You said something about not knowing. And I think
Damn, Zoe, listen, that's sexy.
I do pay attention,
That's
goddammit. You
sexy
can believe
as
that shit.
fuck, baby.
Say some bullshit, see, I get up on you.
Hey.
No, but she said something about listening, and I think a lot of times, and Veronica talks about getting your needs met. A lot of times, people are so focused on getting their needs met that their ears get clogged. Like it's like a tunnel vision. And I always tell people, relationships are not designed to be used like a dildo. Meaning, it's not just a tool. Like your partner isn't just a tool.
I hate dildos.
You know? Well,
I ain't never seen one.
Sorry. No.
you won't have to worry about a dildo with me. It'll all be real. Anyway, again, like a lot of times we use our partner. It's relationship usury, right? And a lot of that has to do with the social template, right? Men are supposed to do this, women are supposed to do that. And that's what we interface with more than the actual person. We have these expectations built off of these social game rules. So again, when we talk about compromising, most of the time it's not speaking from a spiritual space. It's speaking from a social space. I should have this. This should be in play. At this stage of my life, at this age, with this education, with this occupation, I should be getting this from my partner. And a lot of times when people do get those things, they wind up still unfulfilled because the spiritual side has been neglected. So my point, especially in this whole compromise get down, sometimes the biggest compromise you're ever going to make, ever going to be asked to make, is to actually sacrifice your ego.
I agree with that.
Like, most motherfuckers do not want to sacrifice their ego. Now watch this. Ego, right? The 9th letter of the alphabet, I. Where you have I, you have identity. Where you have an identity, you have to fight to protect the borders of it. This is like whatever thought you identify with, you're a soldier enlisted in that identity's army. So now you have to defend it. So a lot of times, bullshit, imbalanced, unchecked, unchallenged ideas infiltrate our relationship and form the template of it. And now the expectations are born out of that. So all I'm saying is, if we're going to compromise, sometimes the compromise is, damn, let's not seek to be right. Let's compromise these ideas. Let's put them on the Barbie. Let's put them on trial as a couple. Okay, we interface in a certain way. Okay, the idea you have born out of trauma doesn't fit this relationship. And the concomitant expectations that come with them actually are a source of conflict. But it's a useful conflict because it's designed to come to the surface. What's my man, Carl Jung? He says, most of your shit is coming from the unconscious, and it's trying to come out through conflict in relationship to resolve itself. So one of the expectations that needs to actually be redefined, and one of the compromises that need to be put in place, is conflict isn't a bad thing. Now, of course, if it puts you in a situation where your life is in danger, of course. But disagreement, bumping of heads, sometimes when we feel that in a relationship, we're all ready to run. This shit don't work. This shit ain't right. No, this is actually a good thing. I tell people this all the time. You look up the word Satan in the Bible. Hebrew, Greek, however you want to look it up. Just look it up. It means adversary. But adversary gives birth to another word, adversity. And what is a life without adversity? It is not a life lived. So again, Isaiah 45:7, I'm not religious, fuck the Bible, but Isaiah 45:7 says that God is in control of both light and dark. He creates evil and good. All of this is done by me, 45:7, read it.
Yes.
So if God is doing that, then God pimps the devil to be a spiritual fucking personal trainer in your life, to challenge you, to fuck with you, right? Just to get you to overcome. Challenge is a ladder. Oh, it's pretty fucking good. I like that. Challenge is a ladder.
It's fascinating to watch a man just revel in his own profundity.
That shit was cocaine.
That's just sexy as hell.
I'm high right now. But no, I'm just saying, like, in terms of relationships. So we have these fantasy ideas that actually put us in a situation that creates more conflict. We have to understand that the conflict has a good element to it. So many people this shit don't feel good, so I ain't doing it, right? We have to get away from that if we want to have true compromise in a relationship. And you can't compromise unless you know exactly who the fuck you is. If you're trying to compromise, just like Veronica said earlier, you're compromising out of fear. How many times have you compromised because you didn't want that person to leave? That's a lot of stank on it. Veronica, when was the last time you compromised because you just wanted to keep a raggedy ass nigga? Speak on it.
Oh, it's been some years, but it always explodes at the end. In other words, the truth comes out, and you got to understand. I've gone into relationships making a stake and a claim for non-monogamy, right? And so that always, like, men always think they can handle that, and it always fucks them up. Always, right? And so And so I've ended up staying and saying, yeah, you can handle it. And they're like, yeah, I can handle it. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, you can handle it. And then it's like, no, they can't handle it, right? And then I try to placate him, even though my communication was really clear from the beginning.
Veronica, stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, it's hard
What?
for men to have a superhuman woman. Talk about non-monogamy. Most men, I just have to preface this. Most men are like, Veronica's smart as fuck. She's gorgeous. She's a muse. Bitch, you belong to me. You understand? You the goose that laid the golden egg. Finna lock this whole situation down. I'm peeing all around your house. Fuck you mean what you mean non-monogamy? I'm just saying, that's how men are. So how do you get a man to be able to go, all right, cool.
You give him the same freedom.
Yes.
I just don't see that working.
I wish my man had another woman on the side.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Do you? Uh-oh.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Your current man?
Yes.
You want him to have another woman on
If
the side?
he had a woman on the side, I would probably be a better woman to him.
Why do you say that?
Wow. This is good.
Because competition
Why do you
is
say that?
competition. You're going to do better than your competition. And your competition's going to always do better than that competition. Now, if I say, bitch, let's do a dick challenge, she ain't going to fuck with me on that. But
Miss Lips.
if she was going to say,
Go
okay,
ahead, girl.
I can bring in the money and the bacon and do this and do that, she'll win on that. But my pros and my cons, hey, I got them. We all got them.
Wow.
And that's the realest shit
Melissa?
you ever heard, nigga.
You see? Okay, so Miss Lips and Veronica are in alignment. Fuck monogamy.
No.
Melissa?
I feel like a primate on this part of the subject. I mean, going back to your to the
Melissa's
conversation.
Selfish, I can see it.
Yeah, I am,
Say
and
it.
I admit it. And going back to the subject of ego, you know, I can't lie. Mine is big. You know, I would be, if I was a guy, I'd be, you know, rocking 11 inches, you know, in terms of like the size of my ego. It is enormous. And I will not sit here and lie that it isn't. I don't exactly know. God, it's been a while since I've been in a relationship. I don't really actually know how I feel about that. That I can put it there, that I do not know how I feel about that. It's been a while since I've been in a relationship, and I don't know if I would feel comfortable knowing that he's dating or seeing another woman. I don't know.
Veronica, do you think that the construct...
I think it's a case by case basis, you know?
And it
Yeah.
has to work vice versa
Yeah.
also, because
Absolutely.
he has to share you.
I'm
my
not
man-
sharing.
My man has to share
good
me
on that.
with everybody, because I'm
Solstice.
a comedian. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You Zoe, women they have to share you. They will have to share you.
You know, I
On
had
your
an ex-girlfriend's mother who told me that.
vision, yes.
Damn, I hope they're not listening. Okay, this is about 20 some odd years ago.
Yeah.
But me and the mother used to be cool, like on mother-son kind of get down. This is over 20 years ago. And then I started dating the daughter. And the mother was like, man, she just changed. She flipped. She just really like despised me. To the point where she was telling her daughter, you don't know about him. I know something about him. And the daughter was like, why don't you just tell me? Like, why would you put me in a bad situation? If you know something about him that I need to know, why wouldn't you tell me? She would never tell her, because obviously there was nothing to tell. But one day, I had a conversation with the mother. She finally opened up. And she's Pisces, so she was on some witchery. You know, she was on some, you know, esoteric shit. And she was like, yo, you're not here for one person. She was like, you're a teacher. She said, she's going to be unfulfilled fucking with you because you belong to everybody. Yep. She was like, that's your mission. That's your purpose. This is what you do. She said, you're going to go on, you're going to write books, you're going to do. This is like 20 some odd years ago. She was like, and I know how my daughter is. She's taken, she's smitten, she's locked in. She's down for the get down from here on out. But fucking with you is going to break her heart. I was like, oh, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. Listen, me and your daughter going to make this shit crack. You understand? And you know what? It didn't work. She was ultimately, she was right. But she was like, nah, man, you have a universal kind of purpose. And she kind of gave me a reading. And ever since she gave me that fucking reading, I've been finding everything she's ever said about me to be true. Yeah. She was just like, you're available, but not really. Yep. And she was like, it's some magic, it's some kismet shit that goes on, but when they lock into that, they want to keep it there. And you're like, no, I have to go to Jupiter this evening. I have a class, you know? So she was right, though. It was crazy. So I've been following that advice ever since. And in a weird way, I might be like producing that Look, I'm listening. Fuck! I just got the text message. Crazy. Ain't this? Don't be listening to this goddamn show. Oh, okay.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl.
We can share, girl.
Funny.
Share. I mean, whoever shares,
That's crazy. No, but
we have to share.
She's one of my best friends. And what's crazy is she helped me do this book.
Yes.
Like, this is what I love about her.
Is that the one that baked the cookies and stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is what I love about this sister right here. She refuses to let me look bad, even if we're not together. So I'll send her the book. She'll be like, nigga, this shit look like a giant magazine. It's all out of order. It's ugly. What kind of font is this? Nigga, the grammar is off. And she'll read it, edit it, and send it back. And then she'll get involved. Okay, what does the cover look like? Okay, let's do a matte. She'll give me the artwork so then I can design some. And then the book looks like a #1 bestseller because she's involved.
Yes.
Good woman.
Oh, she's great, man. She's dope.
Congrats, man.
It's crazy. She's listening. That's some.
Yes.
Wow.
Please follow me.
No, do not follow Miss Lips. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's evil there. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Follow me on the logo, girl.
The fuck? So this is a great show. What I want to do really quickly is to go around the table and get everybody's info, how people can follow, how we can connect and do the whole get down. Veronica Conway, I keep telling people to get that Black Mastery neuro-linguistic programming that you created. Could you really give us a brief breakdown?
Okay. Sure. Yeah, it's people asked me a long time ago to create something that so they could carry me around in their back pocket. It's the first and only program that deconstructs a negative racial identity, because I think that we've been fed so many stories about what it means to be Black that we need to reprogram that. So people have done it and found the love of their lives. They've started new businesses. They've found new careers, and they, just from listening to it every day. So it's an NLP and hypnosis program. It's very effective. It's $97. It's over at blackmastery.com. You can also get me at veronicaconway.com. And I also have a killer business boot camp. People are doing 5 and 6 figures.
She is not a game.
A month.
I promise you, she's not a game.
5 and 6 figures a month from my boot camp, and you can see more about that at tinyurl.com/90-day blitz.
90-day blitz.
Yeah, 90 DAY blitz, and you can get more information with the training about my boot camp. That is not a joke. My boot camp, yeah. So,
no, I went through the boot camp. It's crazy. It's crazy. Shh. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Get that paper.
It's a real situation. Miss Lips.
Yes. Please follow me on Twitter. I am the type of sister, if you need prayer, you need a joke, you need you
need revenge. This nigga does it all.
If you need help, shit. Just follow me at Lips LIPPS. People keep on forgetting the two P's. The two P's is
PP.
Yes, PP.
It's all
Pussy,
purpose.
pussy.
It's all
Yeah.
purpose.
Yes.
Right.
Super pussy.
Oh shit.
LIPPS_Miss. I'm on Twitter, and you can catch me at the Comedy Store.
Oh, excellent.
there.
We love that. And our gracious co-host tonight, Melyssa Ford, my future baby mama.
Beautiful.
She's gonna give birth to
I love, man.
She's gonna give birth to my
Thank you,
third
guys.
son, Solstice. Yes.
Thank you guys. I've had an amazing time. Veronica, I wish you'd been here in person. You are, like I said, my spirit animal, and that is a unicorn. And the music is everything. I'm on Instagram, the Melyssa Ford, TheMelyssaford, and on Twitter, I'm Miss Melyssa Ford. So that's how you find me. And also, hey, we're Dash family members.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm on Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored, which airs Mondays and Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
I'm gonna come through there and crash the
You
party
guys
one day.
definitely need to come up
turn up.
as guests. You guys will definitely turn up.
Yes.
I mean, today was just amazing.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, today was great.
All right.
Can I say one thing to Miss Melyssa?
Yes.
Sure.
Can I say one thing, Miss Melyssa? Melyssa, thank you for representing like brains and beauty, like fineness and intelligence, because I think we need so much of that in the world.
Oh,
and
thank you.
It really comes together. Aw.
Now we need.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Veronica. And I think that you're absolutely right. There needs to be a whole. Okay. Fine. Okay, I'm sorry.
Turned into a kumbaya moment. The fuck?
I like to call it a circle jerk, but whatever.
Wow.
circle
Okay.
jerk? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, you guys.
And here it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to
I'm
bring her in
mess.
on a sex conversation the next time.
I
It's
am
really
a
gonna
mess.
get crazy. That's what's gonna
But
happen.
Veronica, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really, really do.
And listen, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Mr. Zowhat. You can follow me on Twitter at Zoe Williams. Hey, y'all, spread love. This dude is stupid. Okay. Yo, and don't forget to support the VOR Radio Network. Dude, I'm tired of doing it for other people. I'm tired of blowing other people up. You guys got to go to my GoFundMe page and support that GoFundMe page, Zoe Williams, the VOR Network. Go support it. That's what I do. Listen, we'll be back Monday. Oh, we got a hell of a topic Monday. The Zoe What Morning Show is going to be crazy. Here, Hot Button Radio, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be crazy. Holla at me. Today's was a great show. We appreciate it, and it'll be on YouTube shortly. I'll check in with you guys later. Deuces.
Deuces.
Bye.
Mwah.